Our minds create the beauty we experience all around us. Every sense is derived from the response of your brain to its surroundings. You are constantly seeking the images of reality to understand your place in it. All of these images are eternally stored in the subconscious. Imagine how beautiful the dream world is as it flips through your reality storage to speak to you. But the act of lucidity in the realm of dreams is as elusive as the dreams themselves. Like the cartoonish skitter as you run from a monster, only to move an inch. Lucidity is not a race, but a manner in which your feet can grip the floor you run on. You may know me as Sierra, a marine scientist and a writer, but those facts don't touch the truest form of myself. I live a second life behind closed eyes. I remember my dreams like I remember reality. In fact, there are many times that it is hard to distinguish what memories are dream memories and what memories are waking memories. But none of us remember everything in reality. The clear moments, those stay. The moments where your heart was broken, or your spirit was frightened, or your perspective was changed, or your happiness was accelerated beyond compare. Those moments stick and they stay. And all the other moments, all the other memories, they're like earmarked pages where you walk into a building and say, I feel like I've been here before. Or you're having a conversation with somebody and you say, I think I've said this once before. That's how I remember my dreams. I remember them the same as I remember reality, the same as we all do. Some are crystal clear and vivid and impactful. And then some are distant memories that come to me when I least expect it. So now that we have the background out of the way that I would explain being a dream walker or a lucid dreamer to people who might want to try to step boldly into the night or try to remember their dreams better, just as a basis, I would tell them that you, as a lucid dreamer, are an alien in ancient Egypt, tasked by the pharaohs to build a pyramid. And you have to go brick by brick. All of these bricks are mind association. The pyramid is your mind. You're trying to train your mind to build itself into the pyramid. You're trying to tell your mind what you expect from it, how you expect it to be. So the first brick is narrating your life. But what you're doing is walking down the street and narrating what you see, narrating the description of the building you're walking past, or the feelings you're feeling, the feeling of wind, the thoughts that cross your mind. And you're pretending like you are an author of a book and you're trying to let the world know what this character is experiencing in its day-to-day life. You can't love a character and love its journey until you know what its day is. So when you're walking down the street narrating, what you're doing is telling your brain that we are trying to describe this to someone who is not ourselves. We're trying to describe this experience to the outside self. So what details would you pull in? What colors would you explain? What feelings are important to that day? And so this starts to associate your waking mind to be an author. You're making your waking mind look for the details. Then you move into the next brick, which is doing so for passing thoughts. Say you have a daydream that your friend is finally becoming more than a friend. You wouldn't just see that daydream and say, they're more than a friend. Fantastic. You keep going with it. And that's what I'm trying to get at, is you push it past its boundaries and you add the detail. Even if it's not there, you add that detail. You add the feelings and the experience and what they look like. What color is their hair as they sit in front of you talking to you? The next brick is with dreams. And even if you're not too good at remembering dreams, what I'm talking about here is snapshots, freeze frames. If you wake up and all you can remember is a single image, just one thing, what color was the background? Was there light? Was there a sky? Were you outside or inside? Were you about to speak to someone? Were you alone? Just one image that you wake up with. Describe that dream to its entirety. It's taking a snapshot like the Mona Lisa, and you're looking at the Mona Lisa, and even though she's a freeze frame, she'll never change. She's always exactly painted how she is. But you can find enough detail in there to explain to a blind person what the Mona Lisa looks like. If you fight for it, you can look for the details so that someone who cannot see can see. And so treat these dream memories, even if they're small, as the Mona Lisa and describe it. And then that comes to the last brick, which builds up over time, which is that when you have a full dream, write it down as if you are Frank Herbert, whoever your favorite author is. Write it down as if you were them. How did this dream come about? Not just what you said and what you did. What did it look like? What did it feel like? So all of this is to say that your mind in the waking world is finding details, finding important things and latching onto them and making those memories clearer. Then that gives the framework so that your subconscious, your sleeping mind, has this framework of how to be, how to act, even though you're not guiding it anymore. And so the way this translates into being a dream walker or a lucid dreamer is that if your mind says, I'm asleep, I have to remember these details, I have to know what it feels like in this dream so that when I wake up, I will be able to interpret it, then that means your mind is aware it's in a dream, because lucidity is awareness. So your mind has become aware now that it's not just dreaming, it's being an author of your subconscious, it's communicating with yourself. And it is aware it's in a dream, and then you could eventually change the details. Say, I see that I am stuck in a closet with a monster at the door, but if I turn around, there's a hole in the wall that I can crawl through. Because your mind was looking for those details, rather than just accepting that it was sitting in a dream with a monster at the door, it looked around and found that there was actually a hole in the wall to crawl through. Just as the tissue of our brain folds over on itself to hold the flood of information throughout our life, so does the dimension of your subconscious grow. It is the unfolding of one dimension within another. This unfolded dimension is yours to walk freely, to discover, to grow. Never stop telling yourself stories. You'll find your subconscious will tell you even better ones.